surprise that Sharp's team wasn't pushing for a quicker resolution, meaning like a settlement. So the next hearing is now scheduled for September 3rd. Dan, a lot to make here. How on earth is it possible that an attorney for the plaintiff doesn't show up? How unusual is that? Is there a significant reason why that would happen? I can't imagine it's strategic. You got to show up to court. Well, what's going on here? Does it say, wait a second, maybe this, I mentioned the word stability. Does it give you questions about the stability of this case?
Ever wonder what the Social Security tax is? In this edition of Tax Tips by TurboTax, we'll explore
of this case.
Stability, viability, I mean, we can say that, but again, let's just play it like if a plaintiff's attorney doesn't show up to a case that they've commenced, right? They've made these big public statements, the case is out there, and you just no-show. And I understand maybe the attorneys are out of town, whatever else. There is, at least as far as I can tell, no tactical or
what about somebody
to making yourself look bad
from your firm?
And we're not aware of this. There would be possible there were conversations between the lawyers to maybe adjourn the appearance if you couldn't be available. It's possible, but strategically, I can't see the reason for not showing up if you're the plaintiff side. Now that's, I guess, step one, right? I don't have the answer to that. It could be, right, in my second scenario I laid out for you, that they're getting close on settlement and they don't need to move things along with the judge. It's possible. And I guess, Jesse, before I move on to the other part of this, if the sides are working towards some type of resolution, neither side, and they think it's plausible, they're making some real progress, it behooves both sides to get a discovery schedule from the judge that would set up these set dates that they have to accommodate by in the exchange of discovery and whatnot. So that would kind of put the gas pedal on the commencement of the case in real settings with the judge. So that seems to line up that defense counsel would say, hey, no big deal, plaintiff's not here, let's kick this out 45 days. Because alternatively, right, if there's no settlement progress and the parties aren't on the same page, if I'm accused, like Lanny Davis mentioned, of a completely frivolous case and this whole thing is defamatory, I am kicking and screaming that plaintiffs who commenced this case couldn't take the time to show up for the initial hearing. I mean, we didn't hear that from Sharp's side. So I think it's, again, we're trying to make sense of what we have here. It seems that both parties are on the same page, or else, defense counsel didn't create a clean record as to this inexcused absence from plaintiff's side, which should have been cause for concern.
I think you make a really fair analysis of what might be going on. I agree with you. You think it was interesting that the judge even said, you want to push this out more? I mean, the judge even said there seemed to be a surprise that it's not being resolved. Does that give you a sense of where the judge's head is regarding maybe what's happening behind the scenes, but also maybe the merits of the case or the substance of the case?
Well, yeah, and let's not just say it was kicked for 45 days is a long time, right? You go in front of federal judges and you ask for an extension, right? I was in court somewhat recently and we asked for an extension of a preliminary conference, very similar to what's going on here. And the judge, federal court judge, said, no, not doing that. Come to court and explain to me why you needed kick. So 45 days is a long period of time for the adjournment too. It's not 7 days, it's not a week. It's not, hey, judge, we're working it, we'll come right back. Defense counsel pushing this out 45 days to make up for plaintiff's counsel not being there is also worth paying attention to. I would say maybe a week, 2 weeks, tops 30 days. 45 days gives you a signal that the parties are in no rush to proceed on this. And again, I'm just looking at what Lanny Davis, the initial counsel for Sharp, said on here. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to file for defamation. We haven't seen those, and we don't really see a pushing of the pedal this case. So my spider sense is going off that the parties are in some type of communication working towards resolution. Again, not confirmed, but that's what the breadcrumbs seem to say.
Do you think it'd be advantageous for Shannon Sharp to settle this lawsuit after the comments that were made, after his defense, after what he's being accused of? Do you think from a legal point of view and a career point of view and a PR point of view, it would make sense to settle the case?
It's tough to say, right? There will be a public that goes out and says any type of settlement, even if it's a no-pay settlement, even if there's no admission of guilt and there's some public statement that we settled it just to move on, there will be a good portion of the public that will view this as being an admission of guilt, even if it's not. So for Sharp's career, that's very public focused and media focused. You wouldn't recommend a settlement on a case you have no liability on. But as we know from Sharp's side, and this was, I remember, Jesse, you and